Chosen one, I know you desire recognition. I know you long for success. I know deep in your spirit you carry the hunger to rise, to prosper, to become wealthy beyond limits. Yes, billionaire status is written in your future. It is real. It is ordained. It is just not yet visible. And that is the pain you've been living with. Right now you may feel behind. You may feel overlooked. You may be surrounded by people who seem richer, louder, more successful, while you carry nothing but faith, discipline, and silence. But hear this, you are not watching this by accident. Heaven scheduled this moment. This is divine timing. Chosen one, you are standing at the edge of a supernatural turning point. Scripture reminds us in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 that the vision waits for its appointed time, but it will surely come and it will not delay. What you call delay has been protection. What others called nothing was God building everything in secret. Your reputation is not being repaired, it is about to be rewritten, quietly, effortlessly, without debate. This message is your validation. These words are speaking what you've never had the strength to explain. Stay until the end, because honor is being restored, value is being recognized, and change is coming without noise. If you feel this stirring, subscribe to stay connected. Comment 777 as agreement that you are chosen. And write the city you're in, because your reputation is about to change right where you stand. Chosen one. Something has already shifted in the unseen, even if your circumstances still look unchanged. I want you to hear this slowly, without rushing past it. What you are living in right now, the waiting, the quiet, the feeling of being left behind while others seem to surge ahead, is not evidence of failure. It is evidence of formation. I know what it feels like to watch people rise while you remain in the same place, doing the same work, carrying the same faith, wondering if heaven forgot your address. I have lived that tension where your spirit knows more is coming, but your life looks like nothing is moving. That space can ache in a way few people understand. Yet that ache is not emptiness, it is pressure. And pressure, when guided by God, always precedes expansion. There is a reason heaven often keeps its most significant work invisible. Reputation, as the world defines it, is loud and fragile. But the reputation God builds is quiet and immovable. While others were being seen, you were being sealed. While others were celebrated early, you were being strengthened deeply. Anointed one. This is where many misinterpret the process. They think nothing is happening because there is no applause. But heaven does not rush what must last. I learned this personally in a season where I felt buried under obscurity. I kept showing up, kept being faithful, kept trusting even when nothing around me rewarded that choice. Looking back, I can see clearly now God was building capacity before He ever allowed visibility. Right now you may feel poor in resources, poor in recognition, or poor in opportunity. And it hurts even more when you look around and see people with wealth, influence, and momentum while you are still managing survival. That contrast can quietly erode confidence if you let it. But listen closely, what you see around you is not the measure of what is being prepared for you. God often withholds sudden elevation until the soul is steady enough to carry it. That is not punishment, that is mercy. I have seen lives collapse under blessings they were not ready to steward. Heaven refuses to do that to you. There is a deep wisdom forming in you right now, whether you recognize it or not. You learned how to stay kind when it would have been easier to become bitter. You learned how to stay honest when shortcuts tempted you. You learned how to stay faithful when quitting would have brought relief. These are not small things. These are the very traits that sustain long-term wealth, lasting honor, and unshakable reputation. Many people reach success quickly and lose themselves just as fast. God is not interested in making you impressive for a season. He is preparing you to be established. Anointed one, you were never meant to explain yourself to people who only knew your past. While they were forming opinions, God was forming endurance. While they were labeling you, God was refining you. Healing changes people more than performance ever could. And healing takes time. I know the silence has been heavy. There are nights when questions surface uninvited. Did I mishear? God, did I wait too long? Did I miss my moment? Those questions are not signs of weak faith. They are signs of a heart that cares deeply about alignment. And here is the truth I had to learn the hard way. Doubt does not disqualify you. Giving up does. The reason your reputation is about to change is not because you finally spoke louder or tried harder. It is because time has matured what was planted in secret. God allows seasons where you are misunderstood because misunderstanding reveals who you are not dependent on. If affirmation had come earlier, it might have distracted you. If resources had come earlier, they might have shaped you instead of serving you. Instead, you were shaped first. This is how heaven protects its own investment. There is a calm that begins to settle in when you realize you no longer need to defend yourself. You do not need to prove your worth to people who never saw your battles. God is adjusting how others perceive you, but more importantly, He is adjusting how you perceive yourself. That inner shift is where real elevation begins. I remember the moment I stopped chasing validation and started resting in obedience. Nothing changed immediately on the outside, but everything changed on the inside, and shortly after doors began to open without effort, not forced, not begged for, just aligned. This is how reputation shifts under divine authority. It does not announce itself, it reveals itself. You walk into familiar rooms and notice something different, not applause, but attention. Not noise, but respect. Conversations pause when you speak. Opportunities arise without explanation. These moments do not feel chaotic, they feel peaceful. That peace is the confirmation. God does not elevate with anxiety, He elevates with clarity. Chosen one, your story is not behind schedule, it is on divine timing. Scripture reminds us that the vision waits for its appointed time and arrives exactly when it should. That promise is not poetic language, it is a spiritual law. What is forming now cannot be rushed without being damaged. What is coming will make sense only in hindsight. For now, your role is not to strive, but to remain anchored. Remain anchored in truth. Remain anchored in character. Remain anchored in faith. As this settles in, allow your spirit to rest. You are not late. You are not overlooked. You are not small. You are in transition. And transitions are often quiet, because heaven is doing precision work. Reputation built by God does not depend on opinion. It depends on alignment. And alignment once established cannot be undone. Chosen one. There comes a moment in every divine process when heaven begins to move things that people cannot explain. This is that moment for you. You may still wake up to the same surroundings, the same numbers, the same responsibilities, but underneath it all, the ground has shifted. I want you to understand this clearly. God does not change reputations by force. He changes them by alignment. When alignment locks in, everything else follows: recognition, provision, access, and yes, wealth. Not noisy wealth, not performative success, but wealth that carries weight, stability, and authority. Right now, you may still feel financially behind. Bills may still exist. Opportunities may still feel limited. And that is exactly where doubt tries to creep in. Doubt whispers that this word is for someone else, someone closer, someone more qualified. But I have learned something through years of watching how God works. The ones He prepares the longest are the ones He trusts the most. Sudden elevation only looks sudden to people who did not see the preparation. Heaven has seen every step you took when no one was clapping. Anointed one. There is a reason your progress did not look linear. God was not building a ladder, He was building a foundation. Ladders are fast, but they are unstable. Foundations are slow, but they last. You were not being delayed, you were being fortified. Many people around you rose quickly and loudly, but they did not develop the internal structure to hold what they received. You, however, were being trained to hold abundance without losing yourself. That kind of preparation often looks like lack, but it is actually restraint. I remember a season when my life looked unimpressive from the outside. I was doing honest work, staying disciplined, staying faithful, yet watching others leap ahead financially and socially. I questioned God quietly, not in anger, but in confusion. And one day it became clear to me if I had received what I wanted, then it would have owned me. Instead, God wanted me to own it later. That realization changed everything. It taught me that timing is not about deserving, it is about readiness. Chosen one. Your reputation is not just about how people see you. It is about what follows you. It is about what doors open when your name is mentioned. It is about what opportunities find you without chasing. God is shifting that for you now, slowly at first, almost imperceptibly. Someone thinks of you when an opportunity arises. Someone reconsiders an old assumption. Someone begins to see depth where they once saw delay. These are not coincidences. These are early indicators. You may not feel powerful right now. You may feel ordinary, even invisible. But invisibility is often the final cover before unveiling. Heaven hides what it values until the environment is safe enough to receive it. There are rooms you could not enter before without being misjudged or mishandled. God closed those doors not to reject you, but to protect you. Now, as your inner alignment strengthens, those same doors are preparing to open differently. There is a humility in you that did not come from weakness, but from wisdom learned through hardship. You know what it feels like to go without. You know what it feels like to be overlooked. That knowledge will keep you grounded when abundance arrives. It will shape how you steward resources, how you treat people, how you make decisions. Billionaire status, when backed by heaven, is not about excess, it is about influence, responsibility, and legacy. God does not entrust that lightly. Anointed one, pay attention to how your reactions have changed. Things that once triggered insecurity now barely move you. Opinions that once cut deep now pass through without sticking. This emotional stability is not accidental. It is evidence that your identity is no longer dependent on external validation. And that is exactly when God begins to elevate. When you no longer need applause, you are safe to be seen. There is also a sharpening happening in your discernment. You are less impressed by surface-level success. You can sense when something is misaligned, even if it looks attractive. That discernment will protect your future wealth. Not every opportunity that sparkles is meant for you. Not every door that opens is yours to walk through. God is training you to recognize what carries peace versus what carries pressure. Wealth that comes from God always arrives with peace. You may notice that some people from your past resurface curious but cautious. Others may distance themselves as your energy shifts. This is normal. When alignment changes, environments adjust. Do not interpret this as loss. It is recalibration. God is ensuring that when your reputation changes, it is supported by the right atmosphere. Wealth requires protection as much as it requires provision. Chosen one. There is a difference between being known and being recognized. Being known can happen without substance. Being recognized happens when substance is undeniable. You are moving from one to the other. And as this happens, you will find that you no longer need to announce your growth. Your life will do that quietly. Your decisions will reflect clarity. Your presence will carry authority without aggression. This season may still feel quiet, but it is not empty. Heaven is arranging timing, people, and resources in ways you cannot yet see. I want you to rest in that truth. Rest does not mean passivity. It means trust without panic. It means continuing to show up faithfully without forcing outcomes. That posture invites divine acceleration. Soon, what has been forming internally will begin to express externally. Not all at once, not chaotically, but deliberately. And when it does, it will feel natural, not shocking to you, even if it shocks others. That is how you will know it is from God. You will recognize it as familiar, as if your spirit has been expecting it all along. For now, remain steady, remain honest, remain aligned. You are not behind, you are being positioned. And positioning, once complete, changes everything without needing permission. Chosen one. There is a sacred tension you are living in right now, a space between what has been promised and what has not yet fully appeared. This is the space where many lose heart, but it is also the space where God does his most precise work. I want to speak to you here not from theory, but from experience. There is a moment when the soul must learn to rest while the future is still assembling. That moment is holy. And that is where you stand. You have already passed tests you did not know were tests. You chose integrity when compromise would have sped things up. You chose patience when impatience could have created movement. You chose healing when bitterness would have made you loud and visible. Those choices were noticed, not by crowds, but by heaven. And heaven's recognition always carries more weight than public approval. Anointed one reputation changes first in the spiritual realm before it ever shifts in the natural. Long before people speak differently, atmospheres adjust. Long before doors open, resistance weakens. You may not see it, but certain barriers that once blocked you no longer have authority. Certain limitations that felt permanent are quietly dissolving. This is why things feel strange lately, not worse, just unfamiliar. You are sensing the loosening of old constraints. There is also a recalibration happening in how you define success. Earlier in your journey, success may have looked like visibility, applause, or fast results. Now it looks like peace, alignment, and sustainability. That shift is crucial. Wealth that arrives before inner clarity often becomes a burden. Wealth that arrives after alignment becomes a tool. God is intentional about that order. I remember realizing one day that the delays I resented were the very delays that saved me. They kept me from partnerships that would have drained me, from paths that looked impressive but were misaligned. At the time, it felt like nothing was happening. In truth, everything was being filtered. That is what God has been doing for you, filtering environments, filtering motives, filtering people. When the release comes, it will not be polluted. Chosen one. Your current lack does not disqualify you from future abundance. In fact, it qualifies you to steward it wisely. You understand scarcity not as a mindset, but as a season. You learned how to manage, prioritize, and remain grounded when resources were thin. Those lessons will protect you when resources multiply. People who never learn restraint struggle with abundance. You, however, have been trained quietly. There is a humility in you that allows you to listen before speaking, to observe before acting. That humility is not insecurity, it is discernment. And discernment is one of the greatest currencies in rooms of influence. When your reputation shifts, you will not need to announce your worth. Others will feel it. They will sense that you carry depth, not desperation. That is why respect will replace resistance. You may notice that you are less reactive than you used to be. Things that once pulled you into emotional spirals now barely register. That emotional regulation is not numbness, it is maturity. God often waits for this stage before releasing greater responsibility. Influence requires stability. Wealth amplifies whatever is already present. God waited until stability became your default. Anointed One, let me say this clearly, the people who misjudged you were not your enemies. They were indicators. They showed you what environments were not capable of holding your future. If they could not recognize you, then they are not required to understand you now. God does not elevate by convincing skeptics. He elevates by bypassing them. Your assignment does not require their approval. There is also a deep healing happening in how you see yourself. You no longer introduce yourself through past limitations or old narratives. You no longer carry shame from seasons that were meant to teach, not define. That internal shift is critical. When you stop seeing yourself through yesterday's lens, the world eventually follows. Reputation aligns with identity, not effort. I want you to notice how opportunities are beginning to feel different. They are not forcing urgency. They are not demanding compromise. They are arriving calmly, sometimes unexpectedly, carrying a sense of rightness. That is divine favor. Favor does not shout. It attracts. It positions you without pressure. This is how God ensures that what comes next does not cost you your peace. Chosen One, wealth that comes from God does not arrive to prove anything. It arrives to support purpose. It arrives to fund what heaven has already approved. That is why your heart has been refined first. That is why your motives were tested in silence. God wanted to ensure that when abundance flows, it flows through you, not into you. That distinction matters. You may still feel moments of doubt. That is human. But doubt no longer controls your decisions. You have learned how to move forward even when clarity is partial. That ability to act without panic, to wait without fear, is rare. It marks you as someone who can be trusted with more. There will come a point when people start asking how you did it. They will look for strategies, formulas, shortcuts, and you will realize there is nothing dramatic to explain. There was no single moment. There was consistency. There was alignment. There was obedience in small things. That is what makes your story unthreatening yet undeniable. For now, remain where you are internally, grounded, clear, present. You do not need to rush the unveiling. When God decides the timing is right, acceleration will happen without effort. Until then, trust the process that has carried you this far. You are not in transition because something went wrong. You are in transition because something is about to be released. Your reputation is changing not because you demanded it, but because you became someone who could sustain it. And that kind of change does not fade. It establishes. Chosen One. There is a moment when you realize that what once felt like resistance is quietly turning into recognition. It does not happen with noise. It happens with a shift in posture, yours and theirs. People begin to listen differently, not because you changed your message, but because the season changed their ability to hear. This is how God often moves. He does not always alter your voice. He alters the atmosphere around it. You may still remember the weight of being underestimated, the way rooms felt closed, the way your ideas were brushed aside or delayed until someone else repeated them louder. Those memories can linger even when healing has done its work. But hear this gently, you are not carrying those memories forward as wounds. You are carrying them forward as wisdom. They taught you discernment. They taught you patience. They taught you how to remain steady when external validation was absent. Anointed One reputation is often mistaken for image. Image can be crafted. Reputation is revealed. Image relies on consistency of appearance. Reputation relies on consistency of character. This is why God focused on your inner life before touching your outer world. He was not interested in polishing you. He was interested in grounding you. That grounding is what allows influence to arrive without distortion. There is also a quiet confidence forming in you that does not seek confirmation. You know who you are becoming, even if others are just beginning to notice. This confidence does not announce itself. It does not compete. It rests. And that rest is what makes people curious. People trust those who are not desperate to be trusted. They follow those who are not chasing approval. I want to speak to the financial side of this process because it is often misunderstood. Right now, your resources may still feel limited. You may still be managing, carefully choosing wisely, saying no more than yes. That discipline is not temporary, it is foundational. God often introduces wealth gradually to those he trusts deeply because gradual increase reveals character more clearly than sudden overflow. And yet there is also a moment when acceleration begins. You are approaching that moment. Acceleration under God does not feel frantic, it feels aligned. You will notice that effort begins to produce more return, that connections form without manipulation, that opportunities arrive through conversation rather than pursuit. This is not coincidence. This is the fruit of alignment. When your inner life and your purpose converge, provision follows naturally. Chosen one. You have also learned how to be alone without becoming isolated. That is rare. Many confuse solitude with rejection. You learned how to use quiet seasons to grow rather than withdraw. That ability will serve you well when your life becomes more visible. Visibility without inner grounding is dangerous. Visibility with grounding becomes leadership. There may be moments when old voices resurface, voices from your past that remember you differently. They may try to relate to you through outdated versions of who you were. Do not correct them. Do not explain. Let time do the speaking. Let consistency do the convincing. God does not require you to rewrite narratives verbally when He is already rewriting them structurally. You may also notice that your circle begins to shift. Some relationships will feel complete, others will deepen unexpectedly. This is not abandonment, it is alignment. As your reputation changes, your environment must change with it. Not everyone who walked with you in preparation is meant to walk with you in manifestation. This does not make them wrong. It simply means the season has changed. Anointed one, there is a strength in you now that did not come from winning. It came from enduring. That strength allows you to move through success without losing empathy. It allows you to remain generous without becoming careless. It allows you to lead without becoming rigid. These qualities are essential for sustaining wealth and influence over time. I have seen people receive everything they asked for and lose themselves in the process. That will not be your story. Your story is slower, deeper, and more stable. You will recognize your own life when the shift comes because it will feel familiar, not foreign. It will feel like an extension of who you already are, not a replacement. There is also a new level of responsibility awakening in you. You sense that what is coming is not just for comfort, it is for impact. You are becoming aware that your choices will affect others more than before. This awareness is not pressure, it is preparation. God does not elevate without equipping. He does not increase influence without increasing wisdom. Chosen one, notice how your desires have matured. You no longer crave attention for its own sake. You crave effectiveness. You crave alignment. You crave work that matters. That shift ensures that when resources arrive, they will be directed purposefully. Wealth in your hands will not stagnate. It will circulate. It will build. It will restore. There will be moments ahead where you are tempted to look back and measure how far you have come compared to others. Resist that impulse. Comparison served no purpose in preparation, and it will serve no purpose in elevation. Your path is specific. Your timing is intentional. God does not mass-produce destinies. He custom builds them. As your reputation changes, you will notice something subtle but profound. You will feel less need to react. Criticism will lose its charge. Praise will lose its pull. You will operate from a centered place. That centeredness is what allows you to navigate greater responsibility without being consumed by it. This is not the end of the process. It is the deepening of it. You are not arriving at a finish line. You are entering a new level of stewardship. And the way you carry yourself now, the calm, the clarity, the restraint is already preparing you for what comes next. Remain attentive, remain grounded, remain aligned. The shift is not dramatic, but it is decisive, and it is unfolding exactly as it should. Chosen one. There is a subtle moment when you realize that the striving has ended, not because everything is finished, but because alignment has taken over. You are no longer pushing against life. Life is beginning to move with you. This is the quiet evidence that heaven has stepped in. When God intervenes, He does not always remove effort, but He removes friction. What once felt heavy begins to feel guided. What once felt uncertain begins to feel inevitable. You may notice that your decisions are becoming simpler, not easier, but clearer. You are less torn between options because discernment has sharpened. You can sense what carries longevity and what carries noise. This clarity did not come from success. It came from seasons where you had to choose without confirmation. Those seasons trained your inner compass, and now that compass is leading you into spaces that match who you have become. Anointed One. There is a humility in knowing that your growth did not need witnesses to be real. You learned how to become without being celebrated. You learned how to mature without applause. That is why recognition will not intoxicate you when it arrives. You will receive it with gratitude, not dependency. This is how God protects your future, by removing the need for validation before He releases visibility. I want to speak to the fear that sometimes still surfaces, the fear that this moment could slip away, that if you do not act fast enough, you might miss it. That fear is understandable, but it is not prophetic. God does not reveal alignment to tease you. He reveals it to anchor you. What is meant for you does not require panic. It requires presence. Stay present. Stay attentive. Do not rush the unfolding. There is also a quiet courage forming in you. You are more willing to be honest, even when honesty costs comfort. You are more willing to say no, even when saying yes would bring quick reward. That courage is essential. Wealth without courage becomes compromise. Influence without courage becomes silence. God is ensuring that when you step into greater capacity, you will not shrink to maintain it. Chosen One, pay attention to the way your relationship with time has changed. You are less obsessed with deadlines imposed by comparison. You are more attuned to rhythms that feel sustainable. This shift protects you from burnout. Many people reach their goals only to collapse under them. You are being trained to arrive with strength intact. You may also notice that people respond to you differently even before circumstances change. They listen more closely. They trust your perspective. They sense that you carry depth. This is reputation beginning to shift at its root. Reputation is not built by convincing others. It is built by consistency that speaks for itself. Your consistency has been quiet, but it has been relentless. Anointed One, There is a reason God allowed you to experience lack without losing generosity. You learned how to give without excess. You learned how to be thoughtful, intentional, and disciplined. Those habits will scale with abundance. You will not become careless with wealth. You will become strategic. That is how God multiplies what He releases, by entrusting it to hands that understand value. I want you to understand something important. Billionaire status, when spoken prophetically, is not just about numbers. It is about capacity. It is about thinking beyond survival, beyond personal comfort, beyond immediate gratification. You are already thinking that way. You already sense that what is coming is meant to outlive you. That awareness did not come from ambition, it came from calling. There may be moments when others project their expectations onto you. They may assume you are driven by ego or competition. Let them. You do not need to correct their assumptions. God is more interested in your posture than your image. Your posture has been one of humility, patience, and faithfulness. That posture is what keeps you grounded as your reach expands. Chosen one, do not underestimate the power of the inner peace you now carry. Peace is not passive. Peace is a stabilizer. It allows you to move through complexity without becoming reactive. It allows you to hold tension without collapsing. That peace will be your anchor when responsibilities increase. God does not add weight to lives that cannot carry it. He adds weight to lives that are steady. I have learned that the most dangerous season is not the season of lack, but the season right before breakthrough. That is when impatience tempts you to force doors. You have resisted that temptation. You waited. You trusted. That restraint preserved your future. Now, as doors begin to open, they will open cleanly, without hidden costs, without misalignment. Anointed one, there is also a deepening sense of stewardship awakening in you. You are more aware of the impact your choices will have on others. You feel a responsibility to lead well, to act with integrity, to build something that lasts. This sense of stewardship is not pressure. It is confirmation that God is preparing you for greater influence. You may still have moments where the old narrative tries to resurface, the voice that says you are behind, that you should be further along, that others are ahead. That voice has no authority here. It speaks from comparison, not calling. You are exactly where you need to be for what is coming next. Timing is not about speed, it is about alignment. Chosen one, notice how your prayers have changed. You are asking less for signs and more for wisdom, less for escape and more for clarity. That shift reveals maturity. God responds differently to mature prayers. He entrusts more to those who ask responsibly. Your prayers are no longer about proving anything. They are about stewarding what is being prepared. As reputation shifts, there will be moments of unfamiliarity. You may feel like you are stepping into rooms you once imagined but never expected to enter so calmly. That calm is the sign. God does not introduce His children into new levels with fear. He introduces them with familiarity of spirit. Your spirit recognizes this season because it was trained for it. Remain steady, remain grateful, remain attentive. You do not need to announce what is happening. You do not need to explain yourself. The shift is already speaking. And as it continues to unfold, you will find that what once felt distant now feels aligned, like something that has been waiting for you just as patiently as you have been waiting for it. Chosen one. There is a sacred stillness that often settles just before visible acceleration begins. It is not emptiness, it is not stagnation, it is composure. It is the calm of something that is fully prepared to move without resistance. This is where you are now. If you listen closely, you can feel it, the absence of panic, the quiet confidence that no longer needs reassurance. This is not coincidence. This is the fruit of alignment taking root. You are no longer asking the same questions you used to ask. You are no longer begging heaven for proof. Something inside you has stabilized. You trust the process even when details are still unfolding. That trust did not come easily. It was built through disappointment, through silence, through moments when nothing made sense. Yet here you are, still standing, still believing, still open. That alone tells the story of who you have become. Anointed One. There is a misconception that elevation must feel dramatic. That belief comes from watching others rise loudly. But God often elevates quietly so the transition does not fracture the soul. Loud transitions feed ego. Quiet transitions protect purpose. You are being lifted in a way that preserves your identity. That is why the shift feels subtle, even though its impact will be undeniable. You may begin to notice that certain struggles simply lose their grip. Old fears no longer have the same voice. Old insecurities no longer dictate your choices. This is not because life suddenly became easier. It is because you became stronger internally. God reinforced you from the inside out, and now that reinforcement is holding. There is also a noticeable change in how you relate to money, opportunity, and success. You no longer see them as proof of worth. You see them as tools. This shift is critical. Tools serve purpose. Idols demand sacrifice. God waited until money no longer had power over your identity before preparing to increase its presence in your life. That restraint was not delay. It was protection. Chosen One. The season you are entering does not reward hustle. It responds to alignment. Things will begin to move because they are supposed to, not because you force them. You will find yourself in conversations that matter without having chased them. You will receive invitations you did not solicit. You will sense doors opening that you did not knock on. This is not luck. It is the natural response of alignment. I want to speak honestly about something many avoid. Acknowledging success can be lonely if the inner life is not prepared for it. God spared you that loneliness by teaching you how to be whole before being elevated. You learned how to be content without abundance, so abundance would not distort you. You learned how to walk alone, so leadership would not isolate you. These lessons will anchor you. Anointed One. There is also a deep respect forming around you, even if it has not yet been spoken aloud. People sense when someone has endured without becoming bitter. That endurance creates gravity. Gravity does not need to announce itself. It pulls naturally. This is why influence will come to you without striving. People trust what is grounded. You may still be navigating practical realities, work, responsibility, planning, but notice how your internal posture has changed. You are no longer reacting to life. You are responding. That difference matters. Reaction is driven by fear. Response is guided by clarity. God builds leaders who respond, not react. There is also a new level of patience in you that does not feel passive. It feels deliberate. You are willing to wait because you know waiting does not mean losing. It means timing is being perfected. Scripture reminds us that God lifts in due time. That phrase is often misunderstood. Due time is not delayed time. It is appropriate time. You are approaching appropriateness. Chosen One. You may be tempted to revisit old comparisons to measure where you are against where others appear to be. Resist that. Comparison is loudest when transition is near. It tries to pull you back into anxiety just before alignment completes its work. You have outgrown comparison. You no longer need it to motivate you. Let it fall away. As your reputation continues to shift, it will do so without requiring explanation. People will adjust their perception quietly. Opportunities will arrive carrying respect rather than skepticism. You will notice a difference in tone, a difference in posture, a difference in access. These are confirmations, not rewards, confirmations that the season has changed. Anointed One, you are not stepping into a life of constant expansion. You are stepping into a life of sustainable growth. That distinction is important. Sustainable growth allows you to remain present, relational, and grounded. God is not interested in making you impressive. He is interested in making you effective. There is also a deep gratitude forming in you, not for what you have yet, but for what shaped you. Gratitude for the lessons, the delays, the quiet seasons. That gratitude keeps the heart soft. Soft hearts handle influence well. Hard hearts misuse it. God is attentive to that difference. You may feel moments of anticipation, but they are no longer laced with desperation. They feel hopeful, not frantic. That emotional maturity signals readiness. Heaven responds to maturity with trust, and trust opens doors that ambition cannot. Chosen One. The life ahead of you will require discernment more than effort. You will not need to chase everything. You will need to choose wisely. That is why your discernment has been sharpened through lived experience, not theory. You know how to listen. You know how to pause. You know how to sense alignment. These skills will guide you more accurately than enthusiasm ever could. As you continue forward, remain anchored in who you are becoming, not what you are achieving. Achievements will change. Identity will sustain. You have learned that distinction, and it will protect you. The shift you have been waiting for is not arriving as an interruption. It is arriving as a continuation, an extension of the faithfulness you have already lived. Nothing about this season requires you to become someone else. It requires you to remain who you are, and that is the greatest confirmation of all. What is coming does not need to change you. It recognizes you. Chosen One. Take this moment and let your spirit rest in what has just been sealed. You are not leaving this space the same way you entered it. Something has shifted, not just around you, but within you. Heaven has already begun the transfer, and you are standing in your exact Kairos moment, the time appointed for your elevation, your clarity, and the restoration of your name. You do not need to rush. You do not need to explain. What God is releasing over your life will speak with authority on its own. Anointed One, walk forward with quiet confidence. Remain faithful to the alignment that carried you this far. Remain grateful even before the evidence appears. The doors prepared for you will open at the right time, and when they do, they will open cleanly. May peace guard your heart. May wisdom guide your steps. May favor go ahead of you and settle where you arrive. What is unfolding now is not fragile, it is established. If this word settled deeply in your spirit, you may mark this moment with a simple Amen, not out of habit, but as agreement with what heaven is confirming. If you feel led, stay connected and walk this path with us step by step in truth and alignment. And if this message brings to mind someone who has been growing in silence, share it gently with them. Chosen One, go forward without fear. You are no longer striving to be seen. You are being recognized by heaven itself, and that is more than enough.